Olympic gymnastics testify on Capitol Hill. A campus corner boutique faces a tough future after a fire, and the Norman Salvation Army will reopen. This is OU Nightly. Hello, thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Katie Arata.
And I'm Mecca Thompson. We begin tonight with the latest on the Larry Nassar case. This morning, OU alumna Maggie Nichols, alongside 3 other world and Olympic gymnasts, made statements on the misconduct of former gymnastics coach Larry Nassar and the agencies enabling his actions. Gaylord News' Zaria Oates is in Washington with more.
I blame Larry Nassar, but I also blame an entire system that enabled and perpetrated his abuse.
Maggie Nichols, Simone Biles, Allie Raisman, and Michaela Maroney outlined the misconduct of Larry Nassar, the FBI, USA Gymnastics, Safe Sport, and the USA Olympics and Paralympic committees in a Judiciary Committee hearing on Wednesday, September 15th in the nation's capital.
This conduct by these FBI agents, including the special agent in charge, who are held in high regard and expected to protect the public, is unacceptable, disgusting, and shameful.
All 4 women said they want
Senators from some of the gymnasts' home states spoke at the hearing, offering their support to the women and their expectancy of the courts to bring these survivors justice.
A baby boutique on Campus Corner caught fire from an electrical issue. Tiny Tulips, the twin of its next-door neighbor Tulips, caught fire late Monday night. The business is blocked off by caution tapes as they are still working with their insurance company and planning to remodel. The owner of both stores, Paige Beal, woke up to alarming news.
So I woke up from a text from my mom because the alarm company had called her, and her and my dad came up, and they turned the corner and there was 3 fire trucks. So they thought that somebody had just broken in or something, and so it was quite the shock to find out that the whole store was on fire.
The owner expressed how she is grateful she is that her tulip store survived the fire and that hopefully the Tiny Tulips will be back in business in a few short months.
The Oklahoma State Department of Health reports almost 2,000 new cases of COVID-19 today. This brings the active caseload to almost 18,000. The CDC says nearly 9,000 Oklahomans have died from the virus. Overall, 45% of the state has been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, and 55% report having at least 1 dose.
And it's a big weekend for the Salvation Army on Lindsay Street as they reopen on Saturday after being shut down for the past 7 months. The store closed in February due to the coronavirus pandemic and forced labor shortages, making it difficult to help out the community. Regional Manager Kellen Atkins says he hopes to bring more workers and volunteers since the Salvation Army will raise their wages upon reopening.
Our intention was to always reopen the store as fast as we could. We wish we could have done it a little bit quicker, but we're here ready to open on this Saturday with 50% off everything in the store, and we're anticipating a great turnout.
If you would like to find out more on how you can help or how to donate, call 405-364-0126.
Well, it's been another nice day here in Norman.
And it seems like the heat is starting to simmer down just a little bit. Colton Williams, can you tell us more about the forecast?
Yeah, ladies, thank you. We are live here on the 3rd floor balcony of Gaylord College. It has been an absolutely 5-star day here across the state of today. We've seen temperatures out the mid part of the day in the upper 60s. Now cloud cover here in the central part of the state beginning to dissipate. Sun is out. It is warming back up now. We're approaching 90. I don't think we'll quite reach there today, but as you look off behind me here, off here towards the east, northeast, east, southeast here, we see a few pop-up showers going up across the state. Those are likely throughout the evening this evening, but the chance remaining in the 20 to 30% range. So the potential for a pocket of rain or 2 to pop up in and across the area is possible throughout the evening this evening as you get out on your commute home. Now behind me, you see the Palace on the Prairie right behind me. The Sooners hosting Nebraska here later this weekend. It's going to be a gorgeous day for that. Kathleen Alberta is going to have all that, as well as a fall relief cold front coming through next week. She'll have all that more coming up. But for now, Colton Williams reporting live from the top of Gaylord College. Ladies, back to you.
And there's lots of other stuff going on in our world right now. One of those things includes going to space. Tyler DeLuca has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world.
Well, in a very unique story, a murder for hire plot of a prominent South Carolina lawyer failed yesterday. The twist? He hired the hitman himself. Alex Murdaugh was shot in the head by Curtis Edward Smith, who he had formerly represented in court. Both Murdaugh's wife and son were shot and killed in the past 3 months. In the event of his death, Murdaugh's remaining son will be the recipient of a life insurance payout of around $10 million. But Murdaugh survived the shooting. No charges have been announced at this time for Murdaugh. And after a resounding victory for California Governor Gavin Newsom in the recall election, he addressed his supporters, thanking them for showing up to the polls.
And so I'm humbled and grateful to the millions and millions of Californians that exercised their fundamental right to vote and express themselves so overwhelmingly by rejecting the division.
President Biden congratulated Governor Newsom on his victory, stating his approach towards the pandemic was the winning factor. And if you have run out of vacation spots, I might just have a new one for you. How about space? SpaceX will be sending 4 space tourists up into space today. This is the first space trip to be manned only by non-professionals. The trip will last 3 days. Billionaire and founder of Shift 4, Jared Isaacman, will be on board in funding the entire mission. Liftoff is expected to take place late tonight, but storms could prevent a timely departure for the space retreat. And I am not sure if this trip to space is all-inclusive or not, but it sounds like a pretty good time to me. How about you two at the desk?
Not to me, Tyler. You can count me out on that one. But moving forward, Norman businesses are facing trouble with having enough disposable cups. Stick around to see how restaurants have been affected.
Plus, find out how Texas and Louisiana are coping with the damage from Hurricane Nicholas when we return.
I am more than just a student. I am a leader of future creative professionals. Advertising is a way a brand communicates to its audience. Businesses reach out to us constantly to make that possible. We are the source to facilitate communication. To be a resource, you have to think beyond yourself. I'm always asking, how can I help an entity achieve its fullest potential?
I am more than just a student. I am a molder of young minds. As an undergrad, Gaylord trained me as a writer. Now, as a master's student, I'm learning to impact others. Writers never stop writing. We are always learning and observing. I'm constantly taking in the world around me to build a better narrative. As a teacher, I hope to help my students do the same.
I am more than just a student. I rise to the possibilities of the future. It started with a media entrepreneurship class, which sparked an idea. That led to my own business. By itself, technology is just a tool, but add ambition, creativity, and motivation, that's a platform to start an enterprise. Now, I see the world through a different lens. I take tradition and I build upon it. The possibilities, they're endless. Where do I go from here? At the moment, up.
This is you at OU. What will you learn? How will you excel? What path will you lead? Who will you impact? What will you do at OU?
Local Norman businesses are facing challenges with a nationwide shortage, disposable cups. One local business says they started to notice the shortage in July when the company began to run out of 16-ounce composable cups. Now they say they struggle to get 12-ounce cups and even plastic lids.
It started, so we use compostable cups, and I thought maybe it was just like compostable cups or just the company that we buy cups from. But yeah, it's definitely gotten worse over the last couple of months.
One retail company they found in Oklahoma City has a 1 box per day business policy due to the COVID-related supply shortage.
And I know Hurricane Nicholas did some minor damage to my hometown of Houston, Texas. Shannon, can you tell us more about the aftermath?
Tonight, Texas and Louisiana are recovering from the aftermath of Hurricane Nicholas. Power is still out for more than 200,000 people in Texas, and the storm is headed for an already devastated Louisiana.
Much of Louisiana, central and south Louisiana, is projected to receive a lot of rain. That has already started. And one of the most distressing parts of this is the heaviest rain now is expected to fall in areas that were most devastated by Hurricane Ida.
As for the southeastern part of Texas, the good news is that power is slowly but surely coming back on. And Procter & Gamble is going completely green by 2040. The goal is to achieve net zero greenhouse emissions, and that includes zero deforestation. Most of P&G's products rely heavily on wood pulp, like Bounty paper and Charmin toilet paper. But right now, the company already gets almost all its power from renewable energy. P&G says the move is not only for the company's own operations, but its entire supply chain that hasn't yet reached zero emissions. The company says the next immediate step is to cut those emissions 40% by 2030. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a historic energy bill today, cementing Illinois as a national leader in fighting climate change. Pritzker says the new bill makes Illinois the first Midwest state to require 100% carbon-free energy by 2050. The bill also doubles the state's investments in renewable energy and demands for coal, oil, and natural gas power plants to close over the coming decades. It also looks to boost the development of wind and solar energy across the state, put more electrical cars on the road, and make it easier for minority workers and businesses to enter the renewable energy industry. And the European Union is also ready to do more. The European Commission president is proposing an additional €4 billion for climate finance until 2027. And yes, they expect the U.S. to step up too.
The Oklahoma City airport got a makeover. Stick around to see what the $87 million expansion includes.
And I know the big game against Nebraska is approaching. Catherine, will the weather stay this nice?
Yeah, we're going to see temperatures in the 90s for the game this weekend, but we are going to have a cold front coming through. Stick around, weather's next.
I am more than just a student. I am a molder of young minds. As an undergrad, Gaylord trained me as a writer. Now, as a master's student, I'm learning to impact others. Writers never stop writing. We are always learning and observing. I'm constantly taking in the world around me to build a better narrative. As a teacher, I hope to help my students do the same.
Being a freshman in college, I really don't know what to expect. There are so many paths ahead of me, but where am I supposed to go from here? Walking through the halls of Gaylord, I get a sense that big things are happening, a feeling of opportunity. I've been told that this is a place where I can be more than just a student. What does that really mean? I'm excited to find out.
I am more than just a student. I am a voice to be heard. Words are a powerful tool. With them, we make people laugh, think, and see the world from a different perspective. But words are ineffective without amplification. We ask the question, why should someone listen to us? With any topic, you need to find an effective way to present it. Something creative, something entertaining. Pair that with technology, and our words can impact the world.
This is you at OU. What will you learn? How will you excel? What path will you lead? Who will you impact? What will you do at OU?
3, 2. Welcome back to OU Nightly. What you're looking at right now is the OKC Skyline Cam, and We have very beautiful temperatures throughout OKC today. We had temperatures in the 80s right now, and we can see some cloud cover behind us here, and we also had some very low dew points, which is the perfect conditions for cold and dry. So that is going to continue throughout the state. We can see our live satellite. We had some cloud cover, over Oklahoma City and Norman, and that is what's keeping us below 90 degrees here in Norman. Now we see the spots that had that cloud cover are sitting below 90 degrees, but Tulsa and Muskogee, now they're just under 90 degrees, but earlier today they were up in those mid 90s. Now, looking at our evening, it's going to be a beautiful night for us. We have temperatures right after dinner, 78 degrees. It's going to be pretty cool, but as we move throughout the night, we are going to see those temperatures decrease, hitting around 70 degrees at midnight. Now, looking at our lows tonight across the entire state, we have temperatures above average, but pretty consistent throughout the entire state. Our highs for tomorrow, we are going to possibly hit the 90s here in Norman. We aren't going to have as much cloud cover as we had today, but we are going to still feel a lot cooler than we did last week. Looking at our radar, we can see we had this cold front that came through and brought us those cooler temperatures today. However, that is going to our temperatures are going to heat up as we move into the weekend. We can see the remnants of Nicholas making its way through Louisiana into states like Alabama and Georgia. But looking at our temperature trend, we see we've been above average for the last couple of days, and even when we had that cold front come through, we still are above average, and we're going to continue to be above average looking into next weekend. Now, our temperature outlook, we have right at around Tuesday evening is when we start to see this big cold front come through, and that's going to drop us into possibly the 50s Tuesday into Wednesday night. But as we look at Wednesday, we are going to see those temperatures start to increase. And then looking at our 8 to 14 day forecast, we have above average temperatures. And then looking at the rest of the week, we're going to see some warmer temperatures on Saturday. Back to you at the desk.
And the OKC airport looks a little different for travelers today. The $87 million expansion is complete and a new terminal is open for flyers. The project includes an additional 133,000 square feet, 6 new security lanes, 3 new gates for Delta Airlines, and new concessions. Although the project is finished for now, developers plan to seek opportunities for growth in the future.
As we continue to grow, as the city continues to grow, especially when business travel gets back up and going, that's a big part of our air service as well. So we concentrate on the leisure traveler, but also on business.
And airport officials hope to grow the number of nonstop flights and continue to improve the Oklahoma City traveler experience. I know, Katie, for me, I travel to the Oklahoma airport all the time being from Texas, and it's been kind of dead. I mean, there were no concessions, no food, and I know even in Houston, they only fly to one airport. They don't fly to the one that's close to my house, so I look forward to seeing if they're going to expand there.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to hear about those new concessions because there hasn't been any food there, and I've been hungry at the airport multiple times. And the Sooners have yet another home game this weekend.
Yes, and it's not just in any game. OU will make on their formal rival, Nebraska. Nirali, can you tell us more?
That's right. The Palace will be rocking this Saturday when the Sooners take on Nebraska. And the Big 12 released the conference schedules for men and women's basketball. Find out when the big games are and when sports returns.
I am more than just a student. I set the rhythm for my own success. At a young age, I knew what I wanted to do. Coming to college provided me opportunities to grow a business. Here, I can combine creativity, advertising, networking, all to reach my audience due sound. I am passionate about creating the soundtrack for the next generation.
This is you at OU. What will you learn? How will you excel? What path will you lead? Who will you impact? What will you do at OU?
I am more than just a student. I am a voice to be heard. Words are a powerful tool. With them, we make people laugh, think, and see the world from a different perspective. But words are ineffective without amplification. We ask the question, why should someone listen to us? With any topic, you need to find an effective way to present it. Something creative, something entertaining. Pair that with technology, and our words can impact the world.
I am more than just a student. I am a reporter of truth and a combatter of ignorance. The Founding Fathers set the precedents for us to follow. As a journalist, I have two jobs: keeping an eye on the systems we have in place and making sure that voices in the community are heard. As an editor, I want to inspire my staff to create great stories and to do the best journalism possible.
Welcome back. I'm Nirali Jaiswal, and it's time for sports. The Sooners host the Nebraska Cornhuskers to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the game of the century. Saul Mayer has a preview on the rivalry matchup.
The Sooners' revival of the Nebraska rivalry this Saturday promises to be a little more competitive than the Western Carolina blowout last week. OU will continue to use a two-headed monster at running back with newcomer Eric Gray and veteran returnee Kennedy Brooks.
It's honestly pretty impressive, what he's done, just watching him. I mean, with that much time off, away from the game, away from the practice field, all that, it's been good to see him get back in the flow.
Meanwhile, his backfield mate is happy to be able to show off his versatility as a weapon in the passing game.
Being able to showcase, being able to catch the ball out of the backfield is kind of something that the game has evolved to. The running back catching the ball out of the backfield, so being able to showcase that, and this offense definitely puts me in that position.
This historic rivalry rarely spotted odds like this, but the Sooners are favored by 22 points. Will they cover, or will we have another game of the century on our hands? Saul Meyer, OU Nightly Sports.
The OU women's volleyball team had a great match last night. With help from freshman middle hitter Megan Wilson, the Sooners were able to sweep ACU in straight sets 3-0. Wilson notched at least 20 kills for the second time this season. And Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week Callie Kamoa finished with a match high of 17 digs. The Sooners will play again tomorrow night at SMU. The OU men's golf team is hitting the links in the final round of the Merido College Invitational. Sooner Chris Gotterup is currently tied for fourth with a score of 5 under par. As a whole, the team is shooting 1 under par and sit in second place. Hey basketball fans, the Big 12 Conference announces both OU men's and women's conference schedules. The ladies kick off conference play January 2nd at Texas Tech. The men's will open up conference play with a New Year's Day matchup versus Kansas State at Lloyd Noble. For more information on both team schedules, you can visit Soonersports.com. Everybody loves a good home run robbery, and last night Chicago White Sox outfielder Eloy Jimenez played the role of thief. In the top of the third inning, the Angels thought they had a game-tying home run, but Eloy had other ideas. The leap wasn't perfectly timed, but the snag was just right. While many are set on Shohei Ohtani as MLB MVP during his historic season, Toronto Blue Jay Vlad Guerrero Jr. might have something to say about that. Guerrero is making a late September push for the elusive Triple Crown. As he took the home run lead and sits second in batting average and tied for third in RBIs, if he were to win, he would become the second player since 1967 to receive the honor. So ladies, who do y'all have in the MVP race?
Well, Nirali, my MVP vote is still with Ohtani. The man is just incredible.
I'm gonna have to agree, Katie. In leaving the sports topic, stick around to see which animal was made out of butter at the Kansas State Fair.
I am more than just a student. I am a voice to be heard. Words are a powerful tool. With them, we make people laugh, think, and see the world from a different perspective. But words are ineffective without amplification. We ask the question, why should someone listen to us? With any topic, you need to find an effective way to present it. Something creative, something entertaining. Pair that with technology, and our words can impact the world.
I am more than just a student. I set the rhythm for my own success. At a young age, I knew what I wanted to do. Coming to college provided me opportunities to grow a business. Here, I can combine creativity, advertising, networking, all to reach my audience through sound. I am passionate about creating the soundtrack for the next generation.
I'm more than just a student. I'm a mirror up to society. Often people will watch a difficult story and then just turn away. I want others to see what people are going through, to understand the issues, and hopefully relate. Here we've been given the foundation and knowledge. Now it's up to us to build upon it, to find and tell the stories that interest us. Digital media provides the freedom to cultivate those compelling stories. We can take an audience places, meet people, and shine a light on their lives. And once we're there, pose a question that demands an answer.
I am more than just a student. I am a reporter of truth and a combatter of ignorance. The Founding Fathers set the precedents for us to follow. As a journalist, I have two jobs: keeping an eye on the systems we have in place and making sure that voices in the community are heard. As an editor, I want to inspire my staff to create great stories and to do the best journalism possible.
I'm Dana Searles at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The Biden administration has started planning for the arrival of nearly 37,000 Afghan evacuees. Oklahoma is expected to resettle 1,800, with the majority of the arrivals settling in California. The administration has requested funding from Congress to help resettle 65,000 Afghans by the end of this month. Back to you guys.
The Kansas State Fair is a celebration of animals this week, and part of the fun is a massive butter sculpture. It took about 85 hours and more than 800 pounds of butter to sculpt this massive bison. Its glass display case is actually a cooler so she doesn't melt. And don't worry about her buttery goodness going to waste. It's going to be stored in a freezer after the fair and used again next year.
Well, we have lots of exciting things approaching this weekend. Catherine, give us one last look at our forecast before we go.
Yeah, guys, one of those exciting things that's happening this weekend is the OU Nebraska game. We're going to give you a first look at your game day forecast. Now, take a look at this. The Sooners might be controlling the weather somehow because 76 is what they put up last week against Western Carolina. But by the time we get to kickoff at 11 a.m., it's going to be 84 degrees. And then those temperatures are going to continue to increase throughout the rest of the game. At halftime, temperatures in the 90s, so it's going to be a very hot game. Ladies, back to you.
I just cannot get past that butter bison. It is truly amazing.
I know, right? I've never heard of such thing before. I mean, that's enough butter to last my bagel obsession a lifetime. And that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to tune in to OU Nightly weekdays at 4:30. Good night.